Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Corinne and this is my channel where I share my creative projects including cross stitch, quilting, and just a lot of sewing in general. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a little bit of a minute. I know I've been a little absent lately, but as you all know from the theme for my last couple of videos, my life is busy and it has not changed. And now we're in the holiday season, so now it's just gone up all the way. It's ramped up considerably. But I am so glad to be here with you today to share what I have been working on. This is Flosstube number 20, and today is Saturday, November 18th, 2023. I don't know where the time has gone, you all. November just started yesterday, so I don't even know how we're at Thanksgiving already. But I am grateful to be back with you. Welcome to any new subscribers. I have had quite a few lately, so I am so glad to welcome you all to my little corner of YouTube. And welcome back to all of my returning friends. I am so glad to be back with you. I have quite a bit to share with you today. Mainly I have my usual WIPS. I do have a finish to share today. I have plans for November and December to finish up the year. And then I'll just kind of touch on my New Year's Eve 12 by 12 plans and then my 2024 plans going forward. Okay. I'm going to share my daughter's homecoming dress near the end of this video. And I also have some shout outs. And you all, I have some epic, and you will understand why I use that word, epic stitchy kindness to share towards the end as well. But that's what I have today. So what have I been doing otherwise? Let's see. Volleyball season ended. Lay is applying to colleges and scholarships. My youngest just turned 12. I celebrated my 20th anniversary. My husband's had a birthday. I have my 50th birthday in less than 2 weeks. And Thanksgiving is next week. I'm not only cooking for my family, but I'm also cooking for some catering orders. I think I've got like 3 families and I'm making the majority of their sides. And I've got people that have just ordered desserts. So this next week is go, go, go. But once Thanksgiving is over, I will have some more stitchy time, which I am desperately looking forward to. I haven't not been stitching. As a matter of fact, I've been stitching every night. But I usually don't get a chance to sit down until about 9 o'clock, which only gives me maybe an hour, maybe a little more, if I push it and stay up till 11 o'clock. But I'm finding that harder and harder to do. The last week or so, I've been like dozing while I've got my stitching in my hands. And I'm like, okay, it's time to put it up. So that is what I have going on here. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. So even though it's really hustle and bustle, especially when I have as many orders for catering as I have. And when I say catering, you all, I do sides. I have a whole list of baked items that I do for people because that's really how I got started catering, was with my baked goods. And then people started asking me for Thanksgiving, type food, holiday, special occasion food. So now I do dressing, candied sweet potatoes, salad, French toast casserole if somebody wants to have something for Christmas or Thanksgiving morning, greens, and I do collard greens, mixed greens, all of those things. So, but the dressing, the mac and cheese, the greens and the sweet potatoes are definitely popular this year. And I have one friend who her parents have been sick and she's taking dinner over for everybody. So I am going to do a turkey for her. And then I'm doing all that same stuff for us, including sweet potato pies and pound cakes. So it's go, go, go over here. So I'm going to start off with my finish. and you all have seen it. This is my Prairie Schooler 2004. I finally got it done, and I like it a lot. This is I hope you all can see that. Ooh, I got glare. Let me see if I can fix that. Oh. You all, the sunlight, I'm not going to be able to get close, so I'm going to have to stay back here. Because of the time change, the sunlight is just, is doing its own thing. But you really can't see it when I'm sitting back. But I can't move this table. So I'm just going to do this, and hopefully that won't bug you too much. But this is Prairie Schooler Santa 2004. I did do a color change on his face. I'm going to get close anyway. Actually, that won't be that bad if I put him in the light a little bit. But that is DMC, and it is 433. DMC 433. And then his cheek color, remember you guys, I was trying and I was debating what I was going to do for that cheek color. And I decided on, I wrote it down, 300. DMC 300. That worked really well. I'm going to shift a little bit, make that help. But yes, this is Prairie Schooler Santa. Nope, I'm not getting any love. So we're just going to do our best today. And that was the other thing, you all. I haven't had time to sit down and do a video because the light changes so much. It's so different than it was before. And you see why. I didn't even hold up this board earlier to see, but now it's a terrible glare. So hopefully that won't be too bad for you all. But I enjoyed him towards the end. Once I got towards the end, that robe was kind of taking me out. I did change the colors on his outfit. It is Valor Red by Color and Cotton, and the green is Smoky Mountains. And hopefully I already put a picture up of where I was the last time. But yes, I hate this glare. Hopefully you all can see that. But I enjoyed him. Got the words on his sign. So now I'm going to put into a rotation eventually the other two Prairie Schooler Santas, which I just got as Stitchy Kindness from Monica. I think I have 05 and 06. So one of those I'll drop in there again. I do not have any more of this fabric. This was a scrap I bought at a store. So I think I've found some linen that I may attempt to use for the next one. And as far as finishing, my plan is to do a flat finish or a flat finish ornament or a pillow ornament, because my plan is to eventually have a cross stitch ornament tree. So this will definitely go on there. And again, I think this is a 20 count Ada in Vintage Country Mocha. Let's jump into my WIPS. I have quite a few because like I said, I have been stitching. I just have not had any really long sessions of stitching time like I normally do on the weekends. A lot of times on the weekends now I'm working on project bags for my Etsy shop. So I've been doing that. And then just running around with the kids. Like my son had a band concert this week. Layla had a volleyball banquet. So we're still going. But since the Prairie Schooler Santa is now done, I needed another work stitch. So I went into my WIPS and I pulled out Sweater Weather by October House. And I believe this is being done on a 28 count mushroom Lugana that I got from Silver Needle quite some time ago. But yeah, still got a glare. But hopefully you all can see that. I'll stay back here. There we go. That's a little better. I am using all of the called for flosses, but I have changed a couple. And when I say change, I mean their location, at least one. This is Caramel. I believe it's either Color and Cotton or Gentle Arts. Gentle Arts. I can't remember. But this was originally supposed to be this color right here, which is like toasted barley or something. Boring. I really like how this looked because here it is again in this snowflake. So I went ahead and I swapped it out for the toasted barley, the caramel, instead to do the letters. But I believe I finished these last few snowflakes, I did one of the sweaters, and then I started the words, and you see I've kind of started the border down here. So all that I have left is one more sweater, the rest of the words, and then the border at the top of the bottom. So I'm shooting for a end of the year finish on this, considering I'm doing it at work. My next WIP is Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage. I'll insert a picture here of the actual pattern. I did not print it out. I do this on Pattern Keeper, which is really nice. But I have done some, sorry about that little noise, but here are my converted flosses. Most of them are Color and Cotton, but I've got a few other brands mixed in there as well. I'm really pleased with how this is coming about so far. But here is my progress so far. Yeah, I still got a glare, but we're gonna work with it. And this is just fabric that I attached to it to make it go into my nerge a little easier. But this is about halfway. I am at 3,365 stitches out of 6,064 stitches, and that is 55.49%. And since the last time that you saw this, I've done 720 stitches. So good progress on this. Hopefully you all can see that. I'm an inch closer till the glare comes, but I'm very pleased with it. So halfway. I am going to put this one away for a little while. Yeah, I'm going to put this one away and focus on some of the other ones that you will see in just a minute. Plus, I want to get sweater weather done. I have just been evaluating my WIPs, and I've identified a few that I'm pretty sure I can finish for the month of November and December. So that's kind of what I'm going to focus on. Hive Rules is more of a spring summer project, so I'm going to put it on the back burner until 2024. Okay. Up next is another project. I'm just slowly plodding along. I am doing some of the Hometown Holiday series by Little House Needleworks. I think I've accumulated probably about 10 of them now. As a matter of fact, I think I got a new one today to show for my haul or my investments. But I am currently working on the bookstore. And I'm probably about halfway on it. But again, this is Hometown Holiday. And I'll insert a picture of where I was the last time. And I didn't even have to move it out of my nerge. But here it is now. Okay, there we go. That's good. This is where I am now. So I've finished the main part of the house. I'm working on the snow around the front, and then I'm going to finish the actual part of the street. So the tree and the bench and the bird and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and add those finishing touches. And then of course put the word bookstore and then finish the roof. So this has been going with me to my son's tennis tournaments or matches. He does play indoor in the winter time, so that's where he is right now, as a matter of fact. So that's why I'm taking advantage of having the apartment to myself. But this is what I take when I go to watch him play. So that's why I'm just slowly plodding along. But I'm really excited about these. I have on deck, I believe I'm going to tackle the Sweet Shop next. I think that's the one I want to do next. And I have all the flosses. A lot of the flosses, the fancy flosses were similar for each one of these. Plus it uses a lot of DMC, which I like as well. It's just a few fancy flosses. And sometimes you don't mind buying the fancy floss if you can use them in multiple projects. So, and that's one thing I've also been evaluating. I want to kit up a lot of things that I own. And one of the things I'm looking at is, are there fancy flosses that can go in multiple projects? And I'm also looking at, can I sub out some of the fancy flosses that they're calling for, but do I have something that is so similar that I can go ahead and use it? And I have also been converting a lot of the fancy flosses from like the color weeks or something like that. If I can find a color in cotton, I could try to convert it. I just love having the wall of floss at Color and Cotton near me, because now I can just take a floss, even if it's a DMC or whatever, and I can kind of go down her wall and compare it and then choose one of hers, because I do like her flosses. I just like how they work, and then also how much she has on a skein. She has like 8 yards on a skein instead of just the 5. So I do like that a lot. So that is Little House Needleworks bookstore. I've got the WIPS coming up next that have taken up the majority of my time since the last time I saw you at the beginning of October. Both of them are seasonal, and I'm glad I'm becoming a little bit more of a seasonal stitcher. I like stitching things that are seasonal. I'm not necessarily always going to stitch them at the time that they are in season, but I want to stitch more seasonal things for my home. And the first one, as a matter of fact, let me excuse this zipper. Let me get the chart out for you so I can show it to you. This is Annie's Market. I don't think I've worked on this since maybe May when I did Mania. But this is from October 2004's Just Cross Stitch magazine. And hopefully I can get it. Oh, there we go. So I'll also put in a picture of where I was, but this has been in my stash forever, and I have wanted to do it forever, but I didn't have fabric. So last year, last October, I finally got some fabric when I attended Galleria. And this is, let me make sure I tell you the right thing. This is 32 count Rogue Lugana in Moonstone. And I'll pop a picture of where I was, but here's where I am now. You all, I have a page finished, and I'm just gonna move this around until, you know what, it just won't let me be great today. There we go. I'm between the lights. Oh, I do this later, but I just know I won't have time to do it later. But I have finished the first 2 pages. Okay. This has a lot of color changes, but I enjoy them. They don't bother me. I'm gonna come back here. But this is part of the tree, but this is the main level of Annie's Market. This awning, you all, got on every single last nerve that I had, but it's done. Finally, it's done. Love doing the pumpkins and all that down here, but that awning, I was like, really? But it's done, and now that I'm looking at the pattern, I don't have any more awning, so that's done. So now all I have left is the trees, the roof, and the second floor of the house. So this is Annie's Market. I'm going to keep working on this. I haven't worked on it in about a week, but I am going to keep working on this for the rest of November. I'm not going to lie. I'll probably keep going in December if I keep making good progress, and especially if I finish the next one that I'm getting ready to show you. But I love this. And that I may, if anybody's interested in this pattern, let me know, because I may pass this magazine, or at least the pages of the magazine, if I don't have anything else I want to stitch in it on, to somebody else at a future date. But love that one, and that is Annie's Market. My next WIP. Ooh, I'm kind of excited about this one. I picked this one back up. This is a Christmas stitch. I'm ready for Christmas, you all. I'm ready to do Christmas stitching. And so this is the first one that I pulled out that I said, you know what, I could probably get this one done. And it was my goal to get it done by the end of the year, but I'm putting it in this cute ornament bag. But this is Sugar Cookies by, there we go, by Cricket Collection. I like Cricket Collection, you all. I've got a couple more of these I think I'm going to get. I really enjoy working on these. They go so fast. I mean, this has been super fast. I started this for New Year's Eve 12 by 12. This was one of the 6 new starts that I started on that night. I worked on it pretty good through, I think, January and February. I kind of left it alone for March and April, picked it up again for Mania. I don't think I've worked on it since then, but I picked it up last week. And here is where I am. I'll also put a picture up of where I was. But you all, it has gone so fast. And I'm going to definitely stay back here so you all can see it. But here's the I, here's the E. Last time I was with you, I was at the end of the K. So I've done Santa's face here, the I, the snowman, the E, and now I'm working on the holly leaves that are here right in front of the S. Hopefully y'all can see that. Right there in front of the S. This is only a week of work right here. And that's starting to stitch at 10 o'clock and falling asleep probably by 10:45. So it's going really fast. I'm definitely going to work on those holly leaves tonight. But I love this. I absolutely love it. So now all I have left is the word sugar up here at the top. And remember, I was thinking about doing it in red. I think I still will, because I think it'll pop off the page better. I need to finish Santa's face. He's got that doggone cheek color again. So I have to pick a color for this. The color that I've substituted for his skin tone so far is DMC 434. So I'm going to see if that 300, like I used on the Prairie Schooler Santa, will look this as good, because I think 434 is a little bit lighter than 433. So this is a definite finish before the end of the year. This will be my biggest finish of this year. I've had quite a few small or smaller finishes, but this will be the biggest one that I have finished this year. So I'm kind of excited. This has been in my stash maybe a year or so, but this fabric is 28 count frozen fractals. And thank you to the viewers that helped me figure that out. But I've got quite a bit of this fabric left over. And I did get this from the Silver Needle, but frozen fractals. I love this fabric, and I've got about half of it because this spans most of the end. I have a little flap of it left over here, but I have thoroughly enjoyed this pattern, and I want to do Fresh Eggs by Cricut Collection. I think that's the next one I want to do. It's got some little chickens on it, so I really want to do that one next. But looking forward to giving that a finish. And if I keep going at the rate I'm going, I will be finished with this by the end of the month. I think I really would like to do that. That way I can move on to just more Christmas stitching, because I have a few things that I want to finish up for Christmas. Now, normally at this point in the video, I would be showing you Vintage Baker. I have not worked on Vintage Baker. And when I say I have not worked on it, I haven't worked on her at all since my last video. I know you all are probably like, oh no, is she tired of it? I'm not. I love it still. But a couple of things have caused me to kind of put it on the back burner. But something epic has arrived that will help me work on it more consistently again. But I was struggling with it because of my stitching setup, the way that my setup is. I have a K's Creation lap stand. I think it's the Z lap stand. And that's what I've had for the last 2 years. My husband bought it for me for some time ago. And I like it. I like it a lot. It works fine for most projects, except Vintage Baker. Because the biggest Q snap it really should probably handle is at 11 by 11. And I recently moved my vintage baker to a 14 by 17 Q snap. And it's just too heavy. And I knew that was going to be the case. But I was trying to make it work for as long as I possibly could. And so I started looking to a floor stand. And I was going to go with a Lowry. I don't know when I was going to get it, but I just knew that was the direction I was going. Well, getting to my epic stitchy kindness. Shani in Alabama or Arkansas. Oh, I forgot. I forget which state she's in. But Shani was the winner of one of my project bags that I gave away in a previous video. And she emailed me after she got her bag and she was like, hey, I have a floor stand that I would like to send to you if you would like to have it. Now y'all know. I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, please. Okay. Especially since I was struggling with vintage baker. And so she let me know when she was sending it. I sent her the postage. And you all, I have a floor stand. And as a matter of fact, it's a Kay's Creation floor stand. So I definitely wanted to publicly thank her today. But it is such a blessing to have it. She says she is an in-hand stitcher. And she got it thinking she was going to become a hoop stitcher, two-hand stitcher, you know. And she said it wasn't for her. So here it is right here. I have put it for the most part together. This piece up here that you can really see is the tablet holder. And I do use a tablet. I have a Kindle that I use for Pattern Keeper for my Heaven and Earth Design PDFs. So that will be able to sit here. And then I'm going to see if I can spin this around. But here is the arm. And guess what? I have vintage baker attached. So I'm ready to start back on her. I haven't touched her, like I said, in 6 weeks. But this, it has some other components to it. And I'll try and show it in a future video if anybody's interested. There were only a couple of videos that I found, and that Shani also, she obviously found the same videos because she sent me links. And you all, she was great. She sent me links to videos that might help me set it up. She sent me the best instructions that she had. And I recall from when I got my lap stand, that's one of the things I wasn't really happy with about Kay's Creations. Their instructions are, ooh, they can use some work. But I've been able to make it work. My husband helped me a little bit. He put the tablet holder part on here, and there's a metal piece that can go in here. So if you don't have anything on a tablet, you can put like your paper chart and magnet it to that part of the stand. But yeah, those instructions were suspect at best. But I got it set up. We got it done. And now I'm going to move it into the bedroom. And because that's where I do the majority of my stitching. Yeah, I could stitch here, but my husband and my son are usually out here. The TV is right in front of me over the fireplace. So my husband and son are out here a lot. This is where especially my son, this is primarily where he watches TV, and I don't watch a lot of TV, but I don't want to be out here while big city greens and, you know, and then, oh, you all, the month of October, they were out here watching horror movies every day. I don't do horror movies. So, and plus at night when it's late and I want to stitch, I'm in my bedroom. So that's where my stitching area is for right now. So that's where this will go. It has a metal plate on the floor that I can slide under the bed. And so that way the arm of the stand will be in front of me and I can adjust the height and do all those things. So that's my plan this weekend, to take this back there, get it set up the way that I want it. So once Thanksgiving is done, I can just stitch on it. Because my plan is to not do anything but stitch Thanksgiving weekend once I'm done cooking. So that is part of my epic stitchy kindness. Thank you, Shani, so much for this. It is a huge blessing and I cannot thank you enough. The sun has finally gone down, so I could open my shades, and I do have my ring light, but way better. I'm debating if I should go. I'm probably not going to do that. I'm not going to go back and re-record, but I've got maybe 15, 20 minutes and then the sun will be down real low and out the sky. I'm not a fan of daylight savings. I'm just not. It's getting dark way too early. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my stitchy kindness, and I'm going to do my investments. I only have a few things that I have accumulated over the last 6 weeks or so. But the first thing I want to mention is, and say again, a public thank you to Monica S. in Utah. She is the same lady that sent me those 2 Prairie Schoolers that I featured in my last video. Well, she saw that I was getting some of the Tiny Towns, and she had Halloween Tiny Town that she had already finished, and she sent it to me. Didn't even tell me she was going to send it. But thank you again, Monica. And I told her if she's ever in Missouri over here my way, I need her to let me know so we can go to lunch or something. But isn't that sweet? She sent that to me. So now I have this one, Christmas, Harvest, and Honey of a Tiny Town. So needless to say, all of these will definitely be touched in 2024. So thank you again, Monica. I really appreciate it. As far as investments, I have a couple of charts that I have gotten. The first one is from Etsy, and I will put a picture up in here. I printed out the cover sheet, but I don't know where I put it. And that is by Stitching Jules, Jules, on Etsy. And this is the nations of Africa. And I really like this chart because it looks like different types of Ankara or African print are used on each of the countries. And I've been eyeing this for a while, and it popped up one day that it was on sale. I said, you know what am I waiting for? Just go on and get it. And so I have, and I really like it, and I'm looking forward to doing it on Pattern Keeper because it is a PDF. So that is, again, Stitching Jules, Jules, on Etsy. And from what I read, she has a mini version of this chart. But if you've seen my previous videos, you know how I feel about doing a mini. So I'm not even going to fool with that. I'm doing the regular chart. So that is the first thing that I have. The second chart I got was from, I did go to Color and Cotton, a couple weeks ago. And I picked up 2 charts. I think I got both of these there. Yeah, I got December, Cottage of the Month. And now I can come close because the glare is gone. So December, Cottage of the Month. And Little House Needleworks recently came out with another one of their Hometown Holiday series, which you all know I'm getting. And this is number 24. Now, I'm not doing all 24. I have certain ones that I have chosen. I have maybe 18 that I plan to do. So almost all of them, but not quite. And this one is the ice cream shop. Isn't that cute? And so I'm going to make sure I kit this one up. I'm tempted to do this one next, but I think I'm going to do the sweet shop and then I'm going to do this one. But I just love those. And again, Little House Needleworks, Hometown Holiday Series. So those were the other 2 charts that I got. I went to Color and Cotton And I got some flosses, and I will show what these flosses go to, some of these. But these mostly are conversions. Almost all of them, as a matter of fact, all of them are color and cotton flosses. This one, I think this is Zinnia. That bright pink, I just wanted that one. Red Delicious is another one I saw it on Instagram. Somebody had done a chart in that on Instagram, and I thought it was very pretty. So I got that. Crepe Myrtle is another one that I really liked, and I just thought I liked the colors. Duck Egg, same thing. Y'all know I love those teal colors. And then Masquerade is this nice purple. I'm planning to use this in place of some of the purples on the Witch Next Door. I think it's Primrose Cottage. I was supposed to have started that already, but I didn't. But I got this to add some more purple to that chart. And then Apple Crisp is this. I think I've got this as a substitute for Pecan. And I believe it's Weeks Dye Works, Pecan. I have that in a number of charts. And so I just decided to find a conversion in color and cotton for it instead. And that's what I did. So those are some of the flosses that I got. And then I got 2 of my fabrics of the month. Now, this is a new fabric of the month, Under the Sea Fabrics. I'm super excited to have gotten into that one. This whole year I was in Be Stitch Me fabric of the month, and I was in Stitch New England's Atomic Ranch fabric of the month. And I thought I was supposed to get another one of the Stitch New England ones, but I didn't. So I'm going to go back and check when the last time I paid that, because I did not get a fabric this month. And I was going to carry it until the end of the month, because I'm getting a 28 count Lugana in that. And I think I would rather just do 32 counts for the most part. So Under the Sea Fabrics is a 32 count Lugana. And this is my first one. This is Orange Pico. If you all drink tea, y'all know what that is. I don't know how true that's going to come up, but it's a very light orange. And I wouldn't even call it orange. I would call it more of a peach. But it's got some slight modeling in the middle. I'm going to flip it over in case it looks different on the other side. Yeah, it's hard to see in this light, but I like it. At first I was like, ooh, orange, but I could find something to go on this easy. I've got a couple of ideas, so I'll see how that's going to work. The weave on these looks pretty small, but that's okay. It's a hand dyed. You know, the holes tend to shrink on hand dyed, but I like the color itself. I'm just looking forward to getting a few more of these, and they're going to be 32 count. So I'm excited about that. And then I got my Be Stitch Me 32 count Lugana, and I get a fat quarter. And this is Nightshade, and it is a beautiful purple color. I have a feeling I'm going to end up reaching out to her at some point and seeing if I can get a fat half of some of these colors, especially her purples. Her purples are beautiful. But one of my goals for the rest of this year is to finish kitting up my Mirabilia. And I would like to do it on a hand dyed. I'm even thinking about doing it on a linen. I can't believe I just said that. But I'm thinking about doing it on a linen because those linens have such vibrant color. And I want something that Rose of Sharon is really gonna pop out on, especially since I'm doing a conversion on it. So I just want everything to be like I want it. So I'm thinking about reaching out to her and see if she's got something that I can use for that. So that is my investments. I have one more thing I want to show you, but it's in my plans. So I'll just wait till I get to that. So let's talk about plans. I have been watching other Flosstubers that are doing, along with Pam from Just Keep Stitching. She's doing 24 in 2024. So she's going to do 24 new starts in 2024. And I think she already has posted a video on that. Yeah, I think I watched that. And I thought about doing that because I like that idea. I could do 24. That's not too many. But I'm turning 50 this year. And I know that Michelle from Penny's Daughter Shares is doing 50 new starts next year to celebrate her 50th birthday. I can't do that. That's too many. But I wanted to do something to kind of commemorate, because I don't do a lot for my birthday. One of my friends, I saw her yesterday. She's like, what are we doing for your birthday? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not very good at planning things for myself. I'm not. Like I have a couple girlfriends this year had 50th birthday bashes. I mean, did it up, grand style, outfit, dinner, you know, everything. Party, shindig, DJ, the whole nine. I would love to do. I like doing that for other people, but I've never thought about doing it for myself. But I want to do something to commemorate my 50th. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of both of those ideas. So what I have come up with is I'm going to do 50 things next year. 25 of them will be new starts, and 25 of them will be finishes, whether it's fully finishing or just finishing the stitching. So the 25 starts and the 25 finishes equals 50. That's good enough for me. And I think I can kind of get through that, because that's really only mainly two starts a month, and then finishing 2 things a month. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. So I have been working on my list. I've just kind of been putting together. I've been just writing out, and I've got my list right here. Everything that I have in my stash. This is not everything. This is just what I can remember off the top of my head. Terrible, y'all. But I want to kit some of these things up. Some of them are kitted, but I want to kit some of these things up, and those are going to be the things that I kit up first. The 24 things are going to be my starts for next year. And then I'm trying to think what I did with my notebook. I have a notebook that I keep, here it is, that I keep all my WIPS. I keep all my Etsy shop stuff in here as well. But I have a list of WIPS that I keep in here. And right now, I only have 22 things listed. But I do not have 22 WIPs because the ones that are highlighted have been finished. So far this year, I've had 8 finishes. So I could definitely make it to 10 with no problem, which will leave only 12 WIPs left. And actually less than that, because I have a couple on here that I've kind of retired for now, that I'm not even going to look at them in 2024. So by the end of this year, I will only have maybe 10 WIPs that are really, really active. So with that being said, I can add 24 and not feel bad about it. Or 25 rather, and not feel bad about it. And I have a very good start on what those are going to be. The other thing I wanted to do is, of course, finish kitting up my memorabilia. That's real high on my priority list because I want to have that done. I had hoped to be able to start her for my birthday, but I've changed my mind and I'm going to do some other things. So I just kind of revisited my plans from 2023, and I wrote them, I typed them on this list. And some of the things that I did accomplish was I joined some Fabric of the Month clubs. Definitely accomplished that. I did WIP Go. I got maybe through about 3/4 of them, which was pretty good considering that's not kind of my thing, somebody telling me what to do. But I do like order, so I don't know. I did do seasonal stitching, definitely. 23 finishes, didn't even come close. More smalls, definitely did that. I haven't really tackled stitch in hand unless I forgot my hoop. You know, I haven't done it on purpose. So that's something I want to add back for next year. 1 FFO per month. I was not successful at that at all. So I want to try that again for next year. Start my memorabilia or fancy lady. That's going on next year. And then dyeing some fabric. I did not do that. So I have a lot of things that I still want to carry over to 2024 that I want to try. But in addition, I have some other things that I want to do. So I'm just going to go through this very, very briefly, and then I will talk about my daughter's homecoming dress. But this was, and I'm keeping this in this Ankara bag with the Velcro flap. I don't have any of these in my Etsy shop. I haven't decided I'm going to add any. But I have my birthday start and my Christmas start that I want to talk about. And something that I kitted up when I was at Color and Cotton. So for my birthday start, I'm planning, and I just misplaced it. I'm planning to work on, what do I do with it? I got a lot of stuff sitting up here. Birthday start. Here it is. Honey of a Tiny Town. Oh no, Christmas Tiny Town. So if anybody is interested in doing a stitch along on this, let me know. But Christmas Tiny Town is what I'm going to start on my birthday. And that's the Monday after Thanksgiving. So Christmas Tiny Town. I think I have maybe 2 or 3 threads that I still need to get. So I will make a trip to Color and Cotton. They are not open on Black Friday, but they will be open the Saturday after. So I will be there to get those last few. I've already made my working copy. So that is going to be my birthday start. My Christmas start will be The Reindeer by Cottage Garden. And I have this 32 count linen in Dawn by Picture This Plus that I'm going to put that on. And I have the one fancy floss it calls for. So that for now is in this bag, but that is I'm going to find a Christmas bag for it. And that's going to be my Christmas start. And some other new starts that I have planned for November, December. One is, you all saw the December Cottage of the Month. Well, I want to definitely start November. I might start this on Thanksgiving. I'm going to get this out after dinner and chill for the rest of the night and maybe get a start on that. And I'm going to do this on this Color and Cotton. It's a 32 count Lugana in a limited edition color. It's just a nice neutral, but I've got a lot of it. So I'm going to do a lot of the cottages on there. I've already got the fancy floss for that. So November, December, I would like to start them both. They're in this Afros bag. And then I need to get back to my Big City Christmas. So I have done the department store, and it is housed in this cute bag. But there's my department store, and I'm doing them all in a row. So next up is the theater. And this is a lot of light colored white stitching. So the theater is next. I want to start that. I'm ready to go all the way Christmas. So that is Big City Christmas. Now, this is not going to be a new start until 2024, but I wanted to show it to you because I kind of fell down a rabbit hole when I went to Color and Cotton a couple weeks ago. And I have another Bougie Bee bag that Tudor Bee is living in by the Blue Flower. I have Tudor Bee and Quilting Bee. But this calls for NPI. I think it's NP. I'm assuming that's what that stands for, NPI silks. The NP. Needlepoint silks. My bad. Needlepoint silks. So there's the list. Needlepoint silks. I don't have any of those, and I don't have anywhere around here that I can buy those. So there is a DMC conversion on the back. But I decided I wanted to do it in fancy floss. So I pulled the DMC while I was at Color and Cotton, and then I went down the Color and Cotton floss row and found fancy flosses to match. So this is what I came up with as my conversion for Tudor Bee. Aren't those pretty? They're very similar to the DMCs, but if I could or I thought it was appropriate, I got something a little more vibrant. So I'm very happy with those. This was unexpected. I love this one. This is Parlor. But that's my favorite out of the bunch. Oh, and Dutch Tulip is pretty as well. But I wasn't planning on doing this. What I do whenever I go to Color and Cotton, I have an empty project bag that I put all future projects in. And then when I'm in there, whatever I come across, that's what I grab. So Tutor Bee was the one that I felt like I could kit up. And this is a gray Color and Cotton limited editions, kind of a light bluish gray. That's what these are going to go on. So I thought those worked well. So super pleased. I'm ready to roll. So I'm thinking maybe that's a January start, February, something like that. I don't know, but that's that was kind of part of my investments as well. So those are my very tentative plans. I have a couple other charts that I do want to work on in December. If I get to them, I have this Peppermint Christmas by Sue Hillis. And I have this Blush Ada, but it's a 20 count. So I think I'm going to try that on this. Now, that will probably change the dimensions of it when it's finished, but that's okay. I'll just finish it as maybe just a round ornament. These are those hoop-de-doos, so they're supposed to be finished in a hoop, but a 5-inch hoop, but if it's smaller, I'll just find something else to put it in. So I definitely want to attempt that. And I need to finish kitting up also my 1 dozen Quakers. Okay, this is the Bake Me a Quaker Sal that I'm going to be a part of with EJ of the Sunshine Stitchers. She is starting this on December 1st. I am determined to do everything for this from stash. So I'm going to choose a fabric from my stash. And the floss I am thinking about doing is just one of these DMC variegated purples. It is number 52. Because I wanted to do different purples, but then I was like, well, and full disclosure, I'm not a huge fan of this pattern. Nothing wrong with the pattern. I've never done a Quaker before. So this probably wouldn't have been one I would have chosen from the beginning. But it's simple. And plus it'll let me see if I really like it. But I do want to do it in some floss that I like, so I will display it when it's done. So I saw this done up in somebody else's chart, and I just thought that was vibrant. And no matter what fabric I pick, it's going to pop on. So I think this is the route I'm going to go. I don't know why, but my Joann's don't carry these variegateds. I think I can only get these at Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to get a couple more skeins just to make sure I have enough. And then I will choose a fabric out of my stash. I also would like to use these variegated DMCs on something. This is the red. I think I'm going to use that on this freebie that somebody mentioned in their Flosstube recently. And I went and I said, I need that. Question is, do I have it up here? I think it's a Jan Hicks Creates. Let me see if I got it in front of me. Yes. I want to say, oh, who showed this? The Daybreak Stitcher or Daybreak Stitchery. She's new to Flosstube. She and I have been friends on Instagram for quite some time, but she just started a Flosstube and she mentioned this on her channel. And see, I even wrote on my little post-it down there, red variegated DMC. But this is home is kind of a Quaker also. So I thought that would be a good one to try this with. Okay, that's a really pretty variegated. And then I have this other variegated. It is pink and green. It is not going to come up good in this light today, but it's pink and green. Maybe next time I'll show it again when I decide what I'm gonna do with it. But I already have 4 skeins of this because I'm like, I want to use this. And I want to say Joann's does carry these, but this is one of those. It's 4,500, and I just really like the variegation on that. So I got to pick a project to do that with. The last thing I'm probably gonna pick up is this is from, it's the JBW Designs stocking. It's a freebie. And it was from, oh, I forget the name of it. I'll put it down here at the bottom. The event that was on Instagram about a month or 2 ago. But that was part of the freebies that were offered during that time. I think they had giveaways and things like that as well. But I really like that little stocking, and I'm going to probably do that over Christmas as well. So that's a very rough, quick rundown of my plans for the rest of this year and going into next year. All right, before I show my daughter's homecoming dress results, I did want to do some shout outs of some people that recently shouted me out, and I am forever grateful. Olivia from PumpkinHollowQuilts recently shouted me out on her channel, and I thank you so much, Olivia. I watch her every time she posts. I think we have very different styles, but I just love her process and how much she gets done and the fabrics that she chooses. And I really like her quilting. I'm always looking forward to see what quilts she's got hanging behind her and her talking about it. So I've been watching her for quite some time. So it was definitely an honor for her to shout me out on her channel. Thank you so much, Olivia. I appreciate it. Catherine of Needleberry Stitcher, my friend Catherine. We have not seen each other in a little bit, but we're going to get together, Catherine, during these holiday season if we can make it work. But she also mentioned me on her channel recently, and I know she just got back from Queen City retreat. So I know she's still basking in that, all that fun that she had on that retreat. I hope a retreat's in my future one day. I haven't decided which one I would like to attend for sure, but I'm hoping to maybe get to one in the next year or so. But I know she had a great time, and she talks about it, and she had a great video of Nora Corbett speaking at that retreat. So if you have not seen that, go check that out. I enjoyed that, her videotaping that Q&A. It was more of a Q&A with everybody that was present at the retreat. So that would have been a great thing to actually experience live. But Catherine captured it on video, so I'm grateful that she shared that with us. So thank you so much, sis. Crafting with Susie. She is not new to YouTube, but she is a new Flosstuber. And she mentioned me recently, but she does a lot of diamond painting and has recently gotten into cross stitch. And I know she was kind of looking for some feedback from people about her stitching. So if you have not checked her out, go check her out. She's got a wide variety of things that she is working on. She's got a good stack of WIPS going. So just go over there and watch her and give her a little bit of encouragement. I'm sure she would appreciate that. Let's see. Rose, and I don't know if I'm saying her last name right, Cacone, but she mentioned me about a week ago on her channel, and I went to go, because I was not familiar with her, so I went to go find her channel. And then when I got there, she's in France. So the video was in French. And I was like, but I want to know what she's saying, because her aesthetic of her channel is just beautiful. Her home is decorated in creams and light pinks and just pastel colors, and everything behind her is beautiful. Just her demeanor and the way that she speaks, a lilting tone to her voice, very beautiful. And I was like, doggone it, I want to know what she's saying. So if you're not familiar with this, you can go to click your closed caption, and then there's a settings button right next to closed caption at the bottom of your screen, and you can change it to auto translate. Thank goodness, because I was not picking up on anything, but just the patterns that she showed. Some of them I had never seen before. So go check her out. Her name is Rose Cocon, Cocon. And that's the name of her channel as well. But even if you don't speak French, you will get a lot out of it. But like I said, just go change that closed caption at the bottom and you can at least get the translation. The only thing is you can't do something else while you're watching, because you're going to have to be watching the screen to see what she's saying. But I thoroughly enjoyed her episode. And she had mentioned me because she also recently purchased sugar cookies. And she mentioned that I was working on it as well. So thank you, Rose. I appreciate that. And go check her out. And like I said, beautiful channel, beautiful projects. Just everything is just so serene and romantic looking on her channel. And very feminine. And you all know how I feel about that. I like roses and flowers and things. So, but she has a beautiful channel. So don't hesitate. Go check her out. The last person I want to shout out is Fanny. And Fanny and I touched base on Instagram. And she also lives in France. She speaks English though. And she reached out to me on Instagram. It was a few months ago, probably back in August. As you all know, my daughter's a senior. She's graduating high school. And I had posted some pictures of her getting her cap and gown pictures taken. And Fanny reached out to me because the location of where her pictures were being taken was on there, which was the high school that she goes to. And Fanny reached out to me and she said, do you work at Kirkwood? Because I guess she knew I taught at the same school Layla went to. And I said, I responded. I said, yeah, she goes to Kirkwood and I'm a teacher there. And she was an exchange student at the high school where I work, when she was, of course, in high school herself. And so she recognized the name and wanted to know if I knew people there. And she named a couple people and I'm like, yeah, they're there, And she was like, oh, that's wonderful. Brings back memories. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. The world gets smaller and smaller every day. But then a few weeks later, she reached out to me and said she was going to be in town. She was coming over here. I think she said she was going to a wedding of somebody here. And so she would be here the early part of October. Matter of fact, it was after my last video. And she said, would it be okay if she said hi? And I'm like, sure. And the time went on and I forgot. And actually, I thought I had missed her. And I said, well, no, she probably would have said something. So I went and looked back at our conversation on Instagram and I hadn't missed her. And so she ended up coming to my classroom. One of the French teachers at my school is a friend of hers, and she brought her down to my classroom. So I just want to say hey to Fanny. And she mentioned that she couldn't believe we didn't get a picture. And I didn't even think about it either, because she actually came by my room in between classes. So I had kids coming in. But next time, Fanny, when you're here, let me know and we will get that picture. So that's my last shout out. And to all those people who continue to mention me on their channels, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And definitely, I have found quite a few new people. I mentioned Crafting with Susie, the Daybreak Stitcher. Those are two that I started watching recently. I have a couple of others that I don't want to mess their names up, so I'm not going to say them now, but I'm going to write them down and make sure that I mention them in my next video. And speaking of my next video, that will be sometime after Thanksgiving. But just wanted to let you know I will come before you before the end of the year, because I am going to do New Year's Eve 12 by 12. And I want to talk about what I'm going to do for that. But last thing before I go is the homecoming dress. I'm just going to start putting in pictures as I'm talking. But it turned out so well. This was the base pattern that I used. And the reason I picked this pattern is, as you can see, it's a bodysuit. It's not a dress. But she wanted a sleeve. And this is the exact sleeve that she wanted. So I said, well, this pattern has been in my stash for about 10 years. No, not that long, 6. It came out in 2017, and I'm pretty sure I bought it when it came out. Sad. So this is view B, and this is the one I cut out, and I'll insert some pictures of my process. I have medical paper. You know, the paper that they put on the exam table in the doctor's office. Well, I have a roll of that I got off Amazon, and that's what I use to trace my patterns when I don't want to mess up my paper patterns. So I just traced out view B, but she wanted a V-neck. None of these are really V-neck except this one, which is, I think, view C. That's the perfect V-neck. I'll also make sure I insert a picture of the inspiration picture that she sent me. Now, this woman got a V-neck all the way down here. My daughter already knew that wasn't going to happen, and she didn't want that. But she just liked the overall look of the dress, and it was black, and she didn't want black. She wanted a color. So this V-neck was perfect. So what I did was after I traced this pattern out, I put these pieces over this piece to trace the V-neck. And that's what I did. But I also had to create a facing for the V-neck. If any of you all sew, you know that if you have a knit neckline, or really any neckline, you need a facing so that it lays flat. She chose a yellow medium weight knit. So that's what I used. And that neck edge would have been a mess if I wouldn't have had the facing. But I had never created a facing before. You all, her dresses, she challenges me every time. And every time I'm like, I can do this. And I always do. So I created a facing. I watched a couple of YouTube University videos and made that facing. And this dress went together easier than any of her others. The only other change I had to make, I had to do a sway back adjustment. She's got a little shelf booty in the back. So fabric tends to pool, and I have it too. Whenever I do a dress, I have to take a sway back adjustment, which basically the fabric that bunches up right here at the base of your spine, it bunches up and it just doesn't look good. So I remove that. Our back waist measurement is shorter than what the pattern is. That's why it does that. So I took that out, no problem. And then I had to lengthen her sleeve. My baby got orangutan arms. Her arms are so long. I had to add 3 inches to the sleeve. And there's a spot in the pattern in the middle where you can cut it and spread it. And then I just added paper in between it to make it 3 inches. Crazy. But I had notes from the previous 2 dresses that I had done. And one of them was, make sure you make the sleeve long enough. Because I think last year her sleeve could have been a little longer. It worked because it was an elastic on the end. But this year I followed my gut, cut out the right size, and I also lengthened the sleeve the right length. So overall, she loved it. She was pleased. She got good feedback from people, and she was cute and sophisticated, but modest. And that's always my goal with her dresses. So hopefully you all like those pictures. And I did post them on Instagram, pretty much the same ones, I think. But I'll see if I could stick a few different ones on this video. So that was her homecoming dress. It also, whenever I do something for her, it gets me out of my garment sewing funk that I'm in for myself. And so I've got some things that I'm going to attempt to create. Lately, it's just been a lot of project bags, which I do want to thank you all for that too. Thank you so much for your support on my Etsy channel. I'm working on some things that I want to do for those of you that are my repeat customers. I have some people, you all just keep coming back, and I just love you for it. I appreciate you. But that's mainly what I've been sewing. And I will continue to sew at least for another couple of weeks. But thank you all for your kind comments on her dress on Instagram. I really appreciate you. And if you have not followed me on Instagram, my Instagram channel is CoryCreates08 on Instagram. I think, let me check my notes. I think that's pretty much it. I would love for you to like and subscribe so you can come back and view all of the things. I'm trying to stay caught up with my Flosstube watching, but I think after Thanksgiving I'll have a little more time to keep up. Keep me in your prayers. We're trying to get this girl situated with college, so that's taking up a little bit of time, but we just busy over here, you all. So thank you again for coming by. I will have a Black Friday sale of some sort. I don't know what yet, but I will have a Black Friday sale on my Etsy shop. Layla P Creations is my Etsy shop. I will put that below. If you're interested, go check them out. I will have the last of the Christmas bags over the next couple of weeks. I know I'll have some Black Friday weekend, and then maybe 1 week after that, and that'll be it for the Christmas bags. But then I'll start fresh in the new year with new styles and things of that nature. So playing around with a few different sizes and again, new styles. So we'll see. But thank you. I can't thank you enough for those of you that continue to check out my project bags and make purchases. I really appreciate it. So I think that's it. So have a happy Thanksgiving to those of you in the U.S. that celebrate. I know Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and Christmas and all the things are coming. So however you celebrate, I will be back before then. But in case I'm not, happy all those things. And I hope you all stay safe, eat good food, and I will see you very, very soon. And as always, be blessed.